One of the things I see people do, especially women, is spend an unbelievable amount of time trying to make sense of why somebody who is actively hurting them is hurting them. I don't get it. Okay, honestly, I do, but I'm addressing it today because it shouldn't be happening. And before anybody misunderstands me, yes, there is a place for understanding people. There is a place for compassion. There is a place for recognizing that hurt people often hurt people. There is a place for trying to make sense of certain things. But your first assignment is not to become an investigator into somebody else's psychology. Your first assignment here is survival. Ignoring that and focusing on trying to figure out why someone is actively hurting you is you doing yourself a huge disservice. There are things you just can't make sense of. You cannot make sense of nonsense. The information they are giving you is that they are actively working against you. Take the information. Hold on to it. Stop trying to make sense of the why. But why are they doing this to me? Wrong question. The question shouldn't be why they are doing it to you. The question should be, this person has shown me that they are capable of treating me this way. Now, what am I going to do with that information? Because that's the truth that's sitting right in front of you. Not the story you're trying to create in your mind to soften it. Not the explanation you're desperately searching for because the reality is painful and you are unwilling or unready to act with the information before you. Maybe they had a terrible childhood. Maybe they were neglected. Maybe they were abused. Maybe they fell on their head 20 times as a child. Maybe they are a narcissist. Okay, but that shouldn't be your focus. In your humanness, yes, you might spend a few minutes thinking about that. That's normal. But sitting there completely consumed with trying to figure out what made them this way while they are actively making your life miserable, sis, that is doing yourself a colossal disservice. Everybody has the capacity to function more from the light or more from the dark, for lack of a better way of putting it. Some people choose to move or function more from the light within them. They dedicate themselves to self-reflection and healing. Some people do the very opposite of that. They move toward destruction of themselves and others, deliberately or not. Some take responsibility for themselves. Others decide that everybody around them should pay for what happened to them. Okay, that is their choice. Your choice should be to decide what you are going to do with the information they are giving you, because that's all you actually have. You don't have access to their mind. You don't know if they'll ever change. You don't know if they'll wake up tomorrow and become a different person. What you do know is what they have already shown you. Hold on to that, even if you're deciding to continue with them. And I'm not going to argue with that right now. But don't try to explain away the evidence because you are uncomfortable with what it says. Accept it fully and figure out how to protect yourself first. That's the wise thing to do. I hear some people say things like, I really cannot do anything. I feel so bad that I have such a pure and caring heart. I'm such an empath. I tell them, so am I. I can't kill a chicken. I can't even hold it in my hands. I literally see spiders in my house and I'm like, okay, have your field day. As long as you don't bother me, we're fine. I'm not making this up. Cockroaches and rats, though, I genuinely cannot stand those ones. I can't stand seeing somebody cry. One of the biggest projects on my heart is caring for prisoners because I believe that every soul deserves freedom. Aside from the fact that there are people who are locked up who shouldn't be there, I think that even if you deserve to be there, you've done yourself one of the greatest disservices imaginable. And while you end being kept away from the society, I'll gladly provide care items if I can. I'm quite free-spirited. People don't always believe that because I'm usually quiet and they usually associate someone being free-spirited with being so loud and, out there. But I believe deeply in the freedom of every soul. I eat meat, I eat fish. But there are days when I genuinely find myself thinking about the animals that died for that purpose. I could give you so many more examples. So when people tell me they are an empath, I understand. Being an empath is who I am too. And I went through the phase they are talking about. I still find myself there from time to time. That's rare though. The phase where you think that being an empath means you have to lie down on the ground while everybody walks over you. Who told you that's what empathy means? Yes, love people. Yes, have compassion. But if you cannot use that love and empathy to protect yourself first, so that you have somewhere to pour from, what exactly are you doing? More so, if you've decided to give up yourself for something, at least let it be something worthy. Find a worthy cause and give your life for it. Don't give up yourself in service to somebody's raggedy ass son who is actively working against you, all in the name of trying to understand them and their trauma. Oh, he fell on his head as a child. He wasn't loved. I know why he's like this. Okay, we have a strong bond and I can help him. Meanwhile, he's actively working to bring you down. He's aware of what he does. He refuses to get help. He uses his pain as an excuse. He has settled into a victim mindset. He believes that life has been unfair to him and him alone, or mostly him. What exactly are you doing trying to make sense of this or trying to get him to change? And then you say that your empathy is draining you. No, your empathy isn't the problem. You are simply directing all of it outward. Your empathy belongs to you first. If you haven't reached that point yet, I understand. It's a journey, but the awareness is important. Your first assignment here is survival. You need to stay alive to do whatever God put you on this earth to do. If somebody is chasing you with a knife, you will run. Yet people stay in relationships, friendships, family, and work environments that are committed to draining the life out of them because they are trying to make sense of nonsense. They may even waste their time and energy on trying to rescue people who aren't asking to be rescued. Some even leave them, or then they make it their entire life purpose to understand why the person is the way they are. They make diagnosing the person their whole identity. Please give yourself your love and empathy first. You need it. Stop handing it out to everyone else but yourself. It's like living in a house full of food and yet you're starving every day because you keep carrying all your food outside to feed people who aren't even starving. You go back home and stand there hungry, wondering why. There's a level of naivety or sense of innocence that you can't move through this life with, at least not for a long time. I believe that we start out with that, and then life hands us experiences or information to let us know this. Some people get it earlier than others for some reasons, and that's okay. What's not okay is ignoring, editing, or explaining away the information when it's finally placed before you. Self-preservation is your primary assignment here. You need to be alive and well to live out all your goodness. Now, let me also say this because people can easily swing to the other extreme. There absolutely is a place for helping each other heal. There will be people you meet in your life and their presence and contribution will genuinely help you to make sense of your wounds. And you can be that person to someone else. It's called co-regulation. Healthy relationships do that, especially romantic relationships. In fact, I believe that it's very important to have someone who can support your healing, someone who has the capacity to hold space for you and your emotional needs and vice versa. Because even if there's absolutely no childhood trauma to heal from, if you're with them long enough, you will most likely have to deal with grief around them. You will be hurt in some way. I know we all like the idea of a happily ever after, but this is real life. Life wounds everybody eventually in one way or another. At the very least, life will really stress everyone. That means that you need someone who can hold you through those seasons, someone who can understand and is capable of co-regulation. So it's okay to be that person in your relationships, but it's very different from deciding to carry the responsibility of figuring out someone's trauma without their willing participation and while they are actively working against you. That's not love. That's not partnership. That's not co-regulation. That's not healthy for you and it's not healthy for them either. So yes, be compassionate, be loving, be empathetic, but direct some of that empathy toward yourself. Protect yourself. Believe what people are consistently showing you. And if you decide that you're going to be a martyr, let it be for something that actually matters. Let it be for a worthy cause. Don't waste all that good service on a raggedy ass person who is committed to bringing you down. Okay?